to Oswin Music. As requested, we're just going to do some power chords and how to get that sound. I call it a chunk. You regard a power chord, it can be sound a little bit thrashy, but we'll talk about how to get a chunk sound. Does help if you've got a bolt-on neck. What I mean by that, two separate. You've got the neck is separate from the actual body, like on a Strat. That naturally, inherently gives a chunk as opposed to a solid through neck. Okay, don't want to get too technical, but that's the sort of nature of the sound of a Strat or a Fender sort of style guitar, which we're playing on today. Right, so anyway, let's get down to the basics of the actual chord. You're playing a power chord, which is an abbreviated version of a thing called a power chord, bar chord. Now, if you play a bar chord when you've got distortion, it sounds awful. Okay, that is the reason we play power chords with distortion. It doesn't sound all mushy, it sounds powerful, hence the term power chord. Now, they're sometimes notated, if they're tabbed out, as maybe after the keynote, in this case it's an A, it might be called an A5. Okay, that just means the first note is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth note of its scale. Again, don't worry about that, I'm just throwing that in, and on a later date I'll talk about the theory behind these things, but we're concerned with just getting the technique and the sound. So I'm now in the 5th fret, which is the second dark markup on most guitars, and I'm using my first stringer, got it all printed on here, and I'm using it on the 5th fret of the 6th string, okay, waggling that, and I'm going to be putting my third finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string, and next door to it I'm putting my 4th finger on. So, okay, so it's like that, and we're just concerned of playing the 6, 5 and 4, these three strings, they're referred to as the bottom strings. Okay, the high ones are these are the top strings, the bottom. Because a lot of people think these is the top, which is pretty obvious. You can understand why, because of the geography of it, but we go by what's called the sound. Okay, this is the bottom 3. Okay, so what I'm playing here now is an A power chord. Okay, I would set your distortion on your amplifier to around about 3, 5 at the maximum, as regards to sort of, I'm on about 6 now, but 12 o'clock I think I'm on about, but you don't want to really go too much distortion. Okay, again that will mush it. You want a nice crunchy, crisp sound. You're doing rhythm. Okay, experiment with that. Okay, so I'm playing this now, and I'm going to be counting. I'm going to be playing downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what I've neglected to do is to ask my cameraman Spiel to show the right hand, because this is what we really need to do. So you can pan here, brilliant. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm holding the plectrum betwixt thumb and 4th finger. You want the plectrum as an extension, as if you were pointing. Okay, it's my pointy finger, obviously, if I'm pointing, and I want the point to be there, and I want to be holding about 3/4 of it, and holding it thus. It's a bit difficult to see that, but there we go. So you can see it's like I'm pointing there. Okay, and I'm playing into it, and it's really important now to get the heel. This is the heel of the palm, and I'm resting that on the bridge of the guitar. Okay. That sounds, again, we want to get this nice chunk, so we damp it. Now this is the bit, I'm putting my heel on there. Okay, it's very difficult to see in regards to what I'm doing. I'm putting that there. Okay, might just go in there. Okay, that part, I'm just resting on the corner of that, so you get the chunk. Now, it's about balancing, so you don't want it, that's over damping. In other words, I'm putting too much pressure on. You're just taking off enough and pushing through the strings of your plectrum solidly downstroke, and experimenting. Either push more, hook more, or release a little bit until you hear that change. So you get a chunk. So listen to this chunk. Here's damp, over damp, releasing it, pushing through. So I'm going to balance between it, just a tight, nice, crisp sound. And I'm putting rhythm there. Okay, I'm going back to the left hand now, and he's on the board tonight, spiel. And what we're going to do is going to go to the A, and when you move to the G, you want to release the pressure. So it's about release and glide on. Okay, so I'm going to go to A to a G, which is basically A is on the 5th fret. Remember taking the note name after the A. Okay. If this is going too fast, use the pause and rewind, and just stop it and rewind it a little bit. Okay, that's what it's all there for. Okay, so on the 5th fret, and wait for that chunk here. Okay, I'm getting a chunky sound. Happy with that, and I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's 8 notes, all downstrokes. I'm not alternating my plectrum up and down. I'm just down, 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 down. Right? So I'm 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I go to the G. So when I did that, I released, and I did that. Okay. I'm going, look, you didn't know which way to go. Right, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm going to go A down to G. Right. G. 2, 3, 4. Go to A. Okay, when you're doing the rock way, this is like an E minor, because it's back here, this is invisible fret. We can do it like this. You see rockers do that. Does that make sense? That's an invisible fret here, back here. It doesn't exist. But if it was, you'd be power chording, but we don't need to do that. So we can, because that's doing it for us, the note string. But we can go into this sound. So that would be regarded as an E. I'm going A minor on the 5th, down to G, down to F, to E. I'm going to do 4 on each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm down, that's kind of me damp. More the right hand damping. Getting that sound, because a lot of people get disappointed when they do these. Remember, it's just playing the bottom 3 notes and damping it. It's all in the right hand, the heel of the palm, and getting a crisp chunk and waiting to see how, or hear rather, that tone change. So hopefully if you can mimic this sound, you're near the thing. Okay, so see how you get on with that. Many thanks. Peace.